If you want to have a sexual experience with that girl, if you want to do anything on that sort, ultimately, that'll never happen if you've never touched her, okay? It's just weird. What's up, bro? So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 simple hacks to create sexual tension on dates without actually being creepy. And we're going to get Taryn's take on all of this to get a female perspective. So how do you create sexual tension on your dates, okay? Well, the first thing you need to understand, if you don't create any sexual tension, the girl's going to think, okay, this is just a friendly guy, there's something missing, there's no chemistry, there's nothing actually happening. So you want to actually have that sexual tension on your dates. Now, number 1, how do you actually create it? Firstly, if you're not holding eye contact, you will never be able to create that sexual tension. Never. Now, obviously, you don't want to do it in a creepy way where you're always staring at her, but generally, when you're holding eye contact while you're speaking, that's going to create that tension. You won't be able to create that chemistry, that tension, if you're never looking at her. Now, if a guy is on a date with you, and let's say everything is going well, he's having good conversations, he's interested in you, you're interested in him, but he kind of never looks at you, he never makes eye contact. Can it still go well, or what do you think?
I think it would be a bit awkward.
Yeah.
And I love eye contact. I think it's very attractive. So.
And why? Why do you think it's attractive? Is it just a feeling that you get?
I think a feeling, and also it just shows that he's paying attention and he's in the moment.
For sure. Okay, so there's the first hack. Hold that eye contact. Okay, that's going to create that sexual tension. Then next is you want to, at times, okay, not overdo it, but at times you want to sexualize. Now, what do I mean by this? You want to, at times, start saying things to do with your intent towards her. Maybe that you find her very attractive. Maybe that, you know what, you're actually looking really sexy tonight. You know what, you actually have amazing lips. You know what, whatever you're talking, maybe you're talking about certain topics like kissing or sexual topics. But again, you're not making her uncomfortable. You're not doing it too much. You're not doing it all the time, just at times. Okay, because this is going to build the tension, as opposed to if all you talk about is the weather and politics. You can see that's obviously an extreme, but that's not going to create that tension. So if you make it too much about sexualizing and speaking about sexual topics and telling her that she's sexy, if you do it too much, it's also going to make her uncomfortable. Oh, that's all this guy wants, and that's why he's here. So let's talk about the balance here. A guy that never sexualizes, never makes things a little bit sexual, never brings up any sexual topics, never ever tells you that you're sexy or you have amazing eyes or that you have nice lips, never does any of that. What does that mean to you?
I'll probably think he's not interested in me in that way, or doesn't look at me in that way.
Okay, there we go. And a guy that just does it too much, where it's always telling you how sexy you are, that you've got amazing lips, that you have X, Y, and Z, that he's talking about sexual topics, he's talking about sex all the time. What would that do?
Like the opposite. It would make me feel like that's all that's
yeah.
That's the only reason he's like with me. Or...
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to make her uncomfortable. So you want to balance that out, okay? The next way, the next hack to actually build sexual tension is at times start to be physical. Now again, you don't want to do this too much, but if you never ever touch the girl, she's also going to think, okay, well, hold on, does he even like me? Is he interested? If you touch too much, that's a little bit weird, that's awkward, that's creepy. It's like you're making her uncomfortable. But at times, if you push her away when you're laughing, if you are kind of gesturing and you touch her, if you are at times like making different touching, you're touching different parts of her body. Okay, again, I'm not saying doing this in a sexual way. I'm just saying at times you're touching it, like maybe you're laughing at what she says and you're pushing her shoulder, maybe you're joking around with her. But again, you want to establish some of that physical touch, because at the end of the day, if you want to have a sexual experience with that girl, if you want to do anything on that sort, ultimately, that'll never happen if you've never touched her, okay? It's just weird. So at some point, you have to touch the girl. So rather do it sooner, but I'm not saying make it a big deal. I'm not saying touch her and hold her. I'm just saying when you're gesturing, playfully touch her, playfully push her away, playfully pull her towards you, and that's it. Don't make her uncomfortable. Don't do too much, okay? And this is how you can actually build more sexual tension on your dates. okay? Because as we were saying, and as Taryn just said, if you have zero sexual tension, it's going to be hard for her to see you that way in terms of she wants to progress something with you. And if there's too much, then it's like, oh, I don't really want this guy if that's all he cares about, okay? Unless that's also what she's looking for, okay? It's obviously different. So you want to balance it out, but it's very important to build sexual tension on your dates. And if you want to know a lot more into tips, techniques, tactics, mindsets to really have successful dates, to really get more girls that you really want, okay, then check below this video, join our free Facebook community, and you'll be able to learn everything you need.